Good afternoon. My name is Erica Erickson, and I'm the founder and president of Playa Animal Welfare Services, also known as Playa Paws for short. We are a nonprofit 501c3 animal rescue located in Puerto Rico. We were founded in 2021 when I moved to Puerto Rico to start the animal rescue because there's a major animal crisis in Puerto Rico with over 1 million homeless animals on the streets suffering and dying. I'm making this video today because I need your help. On September 1st of this past year, 2023, the Puerto Rico police kicked down my door in the pitch black with an invalid, unsigned search warrant. They took basically my entire rescue from me with no legal right to do so. They took 82 cats, all of my cages, all of my crates, all of my records, my medicine, cash, all my financial documents. Basically from 5:45 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon, 15 armed police officers swarmed my property and stole everything I owned. Here we are almost 8 months later. I've still never been charged with any crime. I have no idea where my cats are. They're not following any laws. I've not been served with any sort of paperwork on this issue. I've hired several attorneys to try to get my cats back since they were illegally seized in violation of the Fourth Amendment to the Constitution, which applies just as well in Puerto Rico as everywhere else in the United States. Back in January, I filed a lawsuit against the Puerto Rico police and government to demand the return of my cats and other property from the rescue that was illegally taken. The prosecutor on the case, again, where I've never been charged with any crime, basically has ignored the case. And then after his 30 days to respond were up, he filed for an extension to have more time to respond to my lawsuit, simply demanding the return of my illegally seized cats and property. The judge gave the prosecutor 15 more days to respond. After 15 days, the prosecutor still had not responded. So my lawyer got a court date, April 22nd, where we were to have a hearing to decide if I should get my cats back. And why wouldn't I get my cats back? The police literally kicked down my door and stole them. It's been almost 8 months. From what I've been told, over 20 of the cats have died. They're not being cared for. The police apparently handed them off to some random woman who has no cat experience. She works full-time as a nurse, has 2 small children, and is 6 months pregnant. That's basically all I know about where my cats are. And she's reported that over 20 of them have died. It's extremely important that you help us here. So after we got our court date for April 22nd, then the prosecutor finally decided to respond after over 45 days of being notified of my lawsuit to get my cats back. And of course, what did he do? Request that the court date get moved out. Because apparently 7-8 months of doing nothing except letting my cats suffer and die he doesn't care. Nobody cares. I've had to keep my mouth shut this whole time because the Puerto Rico police are so corrupt and they don't follow the law and they have no accountability or consequences in Puerto Rico. The cops are the biggest criminal syndicate in Puerto Rico. They're in with the gangs, they're in with the drug cartels. The police officer, the captain in charge of the raid on my animal rescue in my home, he has a $6.7 million verdict against him from another illegal raid that he conducted in 2009. What was his punishment for this illegal raid where he violated the Fourth Amendment rights of countless citizens? Oh, he got promoted because that is how systemic the The police corruption and abuse is in Puerto Rico. It goes all the way to the top. So I'm making this video because I need your help. I had to flee to Florida with my remaining animals. I had to buy a new property and reestablish the rescue here because I was not safe there. If you know anything about police corruption in Puerto Rico, is that you can't live in Puerto Rico and speak out against the police, much less file a lawsuit against them. So I've spent tens of thousands of dollars to get my remaining cats out of Puerto Rico, sold my house, sold my car, got here to Florida, filed the lawsuit, and now, like I said, we had a court date of April 22nd, and the prosecutor, continuing to delay, asked to have that court date moved back. The judge moved it back 1 week to April 29th, which is quickly approaching. The prosecutor is now trying to fight the return of giving me back my cats and property. Not because he says I'm guilty of anything, but because he simply doesn't want to give them back. Because in Puerto Rico, powerful men, such as the police and the district attorney, are machismo, meaning that they're these tough guys. They don't admit fault. They especially do not stand down to a woman who's trying to tell them they are wrong and calling out their illegal, corrupt behavior. So the prosecutor, despite the fact that the police had an invalid search warrant that was not signed by a judge, despite the fact they kicked down my door in the pitch black, they did not knock or announce themselves in violation of my constitutional rights. On the front of the warrant, it clearly states that the warrant must be executed during daylight hours, unless a judge finds compelling reason to execute it in the darkness, which did not happen. Another violation of my rights. And the search warrant was all based on complete lies from a neighbor woman who filed a case against me a year ago trying to force me to get rid of my cats and my animal rescue, and she lost. She lost her case, but she never quit harassing me, and then her allegations against me just continued to escalate. She's never been on my property. My home and rescue had a 6-foot-tall privacy fence around it, so nobody could even see in if they wanted to. Yet in the search warrant, this woman made these horrific allegations that I had cats in cages, stacked 3 to 4 high, cages full of feces, my house full of feces. The smell so strong, she could smell it 3, 4, 5 houses away. Yet I have dozens, if not hundreds of witnesses to the contrary. Our rescue had 100% positive reviews from adopters. I was rescuing and rehoming over 500 cats a year when I lived in Puerto Rico. I'm not a hoarder. I don't collect cats for my own benefit or for some mental illness. I simply rescue cats, get them vet care, and find them homes, as I'm continuing to do here in Florida. Never in my life have I been charged with any crimes pertaining to animals. No animal abuse, neglect, selling, breeding, nothing. Our rescue has over 7,000 followers and supporters. We have dozens of monthly supporters who donate on a regular basis. Hundreds, if not thousands, of adopters. Many of our adopters have come back and adopted a second or third time. We are a wonderful rescue. And right now I need your help because they took 82 of our beautiful cats. Most of these cats already had adopters waiting for them. I had flights for them. In the month of September, I had 12 flights already scheduled and paid for 48 of these cats to leave Puerto Rico and go to their adopters in the US, mainly Boston, Philadelphia, New York, Chicago. And these cats, instead of going to their beautiful homes, well, 25% of these cats are now dead. The others are holed up in cages at some unknown location with a woman with a full-time job and small children who's not taking care of them at all. And now I have a prosecutor refusing to give me back my illegally seized cats and property, while still not even accusing me of a crime. I'm sorry, this is America. The cops can't just kick down your door, steal everything you own, and disappear, leaving you no legal recourse and no rights. Yet here I am, 8 months later, after the police kicked down my door in the dead of night, showed up empty-handed, used all my cages, all my carriers to take my cats away, when none of them were being abused, none of them were being bred or sold. I have documentation of everything. And if a single one of their accusations were true, I would have been charged with a crime. Instead, my cats are languishing and dying, while the prosecutor's playing games, delay after delay. And now his bogus argument to not give me my cats back is that search and seizure law, he argues, does not apply to animals. Well, excuse me, please show me the section of the Fourth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution where it says your Fourth Amendment rights don't apply to your animals, your pets, your property. There is no such exemption. He's also arguing that because I rescued these cats from the streets, that I can't prove that I actually own them. That's also another lie. Law 154 for the protection of animals in Puerto Rico specifically states that if a person is accused of animal abuse, their animals must be returned to them if they are not found guilty. And that's where I'm at. They have no intention to charge me because I've done nothing wrong. And why do they want to keep my cats? The government of Puerto Rico has not paid one dime towards the care of these cats. They dumped them on this woman, a woman who is barely scraping by herself, a single woman with 2 children who is now pregnant. But she somehow has the ability to support 82 cats? Well, obviously she doesn't, because over 20 of them have died in her care. Which 20, I don't know. I love them all, and they had adopters waiting for them. So I need your help. I don't know specifically who to reach out to in this case. Perhaps the prosecutor, media channels, the police. The world needs to respond to Puerto Rico in this case and say, we see what's going on here and it is not acceptable. Return the cats to Erica and the Playa Paws Rescue where they belong. Please share this with your friends, family, news channels, newspapers, news stations, anyone that you think can make any sort of a difference in contacting the authorities in Puerto Rico to put the pressure on them, to let them know that at my court hearing on April 29th, there are people watching. This is not going to be swept under the rug. This is not simply just going to disappear. The right thing needs to be done, which is to return my cats and the rest of the property to my nonprofit rescue because it was illegally seized, violating my constitutional rights, putting my animals through hell. This is unexcusable, and I need your help. So please share this video. And if you have any connections in Puerto Rico or your local government, the federal government, anyone who can help, please reach out. In the comments, I'm going to put a Linktree document. It has the exact copy of the illegal search warrant. It has my lawsuit demanding the return of my cats and property. It has this bogus response by the prosecutor trying to give any excuse he can not to give my animals back, well, not even alleging that I ever did anything wrong. Please help, the cats need you. Thank you.